So my last video on how to do a couple of these options was ridiculously long, so I'm going to try to cut this down to just the nitty and the gritty of it. So we're going to start with a new thing, and if you're combining two pictures, generally speaking, it's good to open the larger image first. So I'm going to open image from my computer. I'll just choose one of these previous ones that I've got. It really doesn't matter which one I choose. So I'm going to choose, I don't know, little kids races, and I'm going to open it up. So there's some little kids and there's Brutus. And now I'm going to bring in a face and put it on one of these kids. So again, how to bring another image into this one is you go to layer and you do open image as layer. And I'm going to go down here and I have stored some regular polygons somewhere and I was trying to make a point. So there's my polygon sheet. I'm going to say open. And so there's my polygon sheet in there. And now it's another whole layer. I can zoom in a little bit with my mouse or I can zoom in a little bit using the tool up here. So now I'm going to talk about the polygon lasso tool, and heck, I've got regular polygons down here to do it. So obviously the main idea is you click on the lasso tool up here in the upper left, and then up top you just choose on polygon lasso, which is a little to the right up here. I'll see if I can get that to highlight again. There it is, polygon lasso tool up here. So to cut one of these out, and obviously the more clicks you make, the better a face shape it'll be. If we cut out somebody's shape in an equilateral triangle, it wouldn't be much of a face whatsoever. But if we went all the way down to a regular decagon, obviously it's looking a whole lot more like a head. I'm just going to pick something in the middle real quick. I'll just do a regular pentagon, and I'm going to pick a corner. So the top left corner, I'm going to click. I'm going to click again, 2 clicks, 3, 4, 5, and this should connect it right here. And when you connect the first to the end, then at that point in time, it should turn into a blinking line of some sort. And now if you want to cut just the face out, you have to do 2 different things. Number 1, you have to invert the selection. So you go up here to where it says edit, and you do where it says invert selection, and you click it, and that'll choose the rest of the polygon, not just the polygon itself. And then you can hit backspace or delete, either one. And so you're left with just a polygon. Now click off of it somewhere, or if you really have trouble clicking off anywhere else, you just hit edit and you hit deselect all. Okay. So now we just have to move it and resize it or perhaps rotate it. So let's just pick one of these little kids and we're going to replace their head with a regular polygon. So I'm going to hit edit, and free transform is the next thing that I want. And once I hit free transform, this square will come up around it and I can just move it over top. And again, I can change, I'll just apply that for right now. And again, I can change my view by looking at this red thing for right now. And I need to go back and edit free transform again. And now I just pull it to the size I need. If I think it should be rotated, then I rotate it by hovering off of a corner, and it'll let me rotate a little bit. And about the other thing that I perhaps wanted to show you a little bit is sometimes changing the transparency helps. So if you want to just say make something fit exactly and you go, wow, if I could just see what was going on behind this, or if I could just see what parts to get rid of here. So this button right over here, and I don't know if you can see it. Yes, I'll apply changes. So this button right over here near the layers thing, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but this changes transparency. So I can roll this in or out, and that will help me. Let's say I wanted to knock a couple pieces of this off. I can now switch to my eraser, and now again, since I'm on this layer, the only thing that will erase is this layer. So theoretically, I could run my eraser down, and everything that was outside the girl's head, I could use transparency to kind of see what exactly was outside the head, and I could knock off that part, or I could knock off that little tip or whatever else. And now it fits a little better. Or perhaps I could go to the other background like this, and I could do something with the stamp tool like the girls here. So I could control again, stamp, and I could, since I'm working on the other background, I could take out little pieces of her hair here that stick out above the thing using that forest background a little bit so it doesn't look like anything's there. So I could do that a little bit and maybe even pick up a little bit of this lighter green background and take care of a couple of these curls over here. And so using transparency tool and maybe the stamp tool a little bit, now I can run the opacity back up. So I just go back here to the layer, background layer, or back to layer 1, and I run the opacity back up. And you'll see that I've kind of cut into that a little bit. And I can zoom back out. And I've basically done the lasso tool, and I've used a couple other techniques that might be useful to replace someone's head. That's good for right now. Thanks.